the southeast, 15 to 20 miles per hour. We see it coming through El Dorado here in the next couple of minutes, and then eventually some of that strong wind is probably going to pass just to the north of Leon. But if you live south and east of El Dorado, you want to be ready for some winds that could go up to about 60 miles per hour. So this is the situation as we have it now. This is the only warning that's in effect in our coverage area. Butler County, tornado warning till 7:30. We're not seeing the circulation that we were seeing just even 15 or 20 minutes ago. It's basically getting absorbed by the rest of the storm, starting to dissipate a little bit. Now, there's still a wind threat here, and there's still a chance we could see some additional quarter-size hail reports out of the storm. But for the present time, again, tornado warning until 7:30. I want you to see where we have the stronger winds once again, right here just to the west of El Dorado. And those strong winds are pushing to the southeast at speeds of close to 20 miles per hour. So El Dorado, the time there has just changed a little bit, but only by a couple of minutes. Again, we're still talking about in the next 2 to 5 minutes, some stronger winds could be coming through the city itself. Been a little while since we've looked at the hail potential, so I want you to see that as well. What we have moving across central portions of Butler County, we could be experiencing some hail. On the high side, maybe golf ball size. On the low end of it, it could be in a lot of locations smaller than 1 inch in diameter. So for the time being, I'm going to tell you that the most significant dangers are going to be hail and wind, because the tornado threat looks to have diminished significantly from where we were 20 to 25 minutes ago. Stay indoors, stay away from windows. This is a dangerous storm moving through Butler County. We have had at least a couple reports of very brief tornadoes, but those reports now almost 15 to 20 minutes old, and we haven't seen anything additional come in from the reports and the sources that we have. So that we'll take that as certainly some good news that the storm is not producing tornadoes right now. This is becoming more of a hail and wind threat as it continues to move through central sections of Butler County. So that's the situation for now. We continue to carefully monitor all sources of information. There are a lot of storm spotters out there and chasers too. So if the storm decides to do something beyond what it is doing right now, which is producing some strong winds, some larger hail, very heavy rainfall, dangerous lightning too, we'll certainly find out about it in a moment's notice. But tornado warning set to expire at 7:30 for central and northern portions of Butler County. We've had no additional reports of anything tornadic coming into the storm center, so we'll take that as some good news. Bring you up to the current time. Let's take another look here at the wind inside of the storm. As it continues to move in closer to El Dorado, you can see these pockets of lighter shades of green back here to the west of El Dorado. That's where I'm starting to see indications that maybe the winds are gusting upwards of about 50 to 60 miles per hour. Now, I have not seen any reports of that, but we did get a report of some wind damage in and around the Potwin area. So we'll take that information and just advise you downstream of the storm in and around the El Dorado area that there is a chance we could be looking at some stronger winds moving through the area. We will continue to have to watch what develops back to the west on the western fringe of this storm just to see if anything additional as far as tornadoes go. But for right now, we don't have anything like that being reported, and maybe we'll get lucky and not see anything additional reported out of this storm. But it is still a very dangerous situation here in Butler County. Strongest part of the storm now is moving through the El Dorado and El Dorado Lake area, and that storm is tracking to the southeast at speeds of about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Tornado warning again continues until 7:30, so we want to stay with you here as long as necessary to keep you updated on what's happening here in central portions of Butler County. The blue markers that are showing up here on the screen, those are indicating the hail size with the storm, which at times has been up around quarter size, but the estimations from our radar would suggest that the hail size could go larger than that, possibly up to golf ball size. That was one of the more recent reports that we have. Going back over into the wind mode just to show you what we have advancing across Butler County. Again, where we see these bright shades of green on the radar to the south of Potwin, to the north and west of El Dorado, there's a pocket of wind in there that could easily be 60 miles per hour. And we'll see if an additional circulation develops out of the storm, because the original one was lost to the north of El Dorado up here along Highway 77. Basically, it was absorbed by the rest of the storm. And what I'm looking at now, just to the west of El Dorado, could be a new developing circulation. Not a guarantee that it's going to produce a tornado tornado, but something that we will have to carefully see what becomes of this over the next 15 to 20 minutes. But there is what appears to be a little bit more of a circulation developing straight west of El Dorado, and we'll see if that becomes anything stronger than what it is right now. But tornado warning again, just to goes until 7:30. We see it canceled early. We just don't know. We're kind of waiting to see how this whole storm evolves as we go through the next 20 to 30 minutes and what becomes of some of those original circulations. The first circulation, the first report we got was just after 6:30 this evening. We had one tornado that briefly touched down about 7 or 8 miles to the northwest of El Dorado. Then that original circulation was lost and basically fell apart off to the east of Highway 77. Now the area that we're watching is moving in on El Dorado, and there looks to be just a little bit of an appendage on this back part of the storm, the western fringe of the storm. So that's an area that I'm going to continue to watch carefully and see if anything develops out of that. We now have a new report coming in from emergency managers out of Butler County indicating a rotating wall cloud approximately 3 miles to the northeast of El Dorado, and some 50 to 60 mile per hour winds are also being reported with the storm in Butler County. So the rotating wall cloud, again, that report was 3 miles to the northeast of El Dorado. I think it's safe to say that's probably weakened enough that we're not going to see any additional tornadoes reported out of that. What I'm most concerned about right now at the current time is the strong wind possibilities that will be coming through the city of El Dorado. And you can still see we have a tremendous amount of what looks to be some straight line winds right here to the west of El Dorado, just giving you a small sample of what kind of distance we're talking about from El Dorado back into some of these strong winds, about 6 or 7 miles. So it still gives you a little time to prepare for some of that to be pushing on through the area. But with the most recent report from the emergency manager suggesting that this strong straight line winds up to about 50 or 60 miles per hour, that would certainly go along with what we're looking at here on the radar just to the west of El Dorado. Want you to see the radar in motion again. This is a storm that's been kind of interesting to watch because the tornadic circulation was moving more to the east, but when you watch the last hour here in review, you're going to see the majority of the stronger returns on radar are sliding to the southeast. Very heavy rainfall right on top of the city of El Dorado. I can tell you I don't see any tornadic signatures though passing through the city. So if it's getting noisy where you live, let me just put your mind at ease and tell you I don't see any strong circulations with this storm coming through El Dorado. Yes, we are getting some heavy rainfall. Yes, there's a possibility we could get some quarter-size hail out of it, but we don't see any real significant signatures here on radar that would suggest we're up against a tornadic situation on the city of El Dorado. Now the warning till 7:30, we'll see how long that's going to continue. I want you to see the radar animate again from the last hour. Storms are still pushing on to the southeast. Some of the heavier returns coming right through El Dorado, indicating, again, very heavy rainfall, probably getting some quarter-size hail with the storm. The winds potentially could go as strong as 60 to 65 with what we're seeing on radar. If you live in Roselia, you've got a lot of heavy rainfall on top of you as well, but we don't see any circulations, no tornadic threat in Roselia in eastern sections of Butler County. The main storm, the strongest one that we have out there right now, is right on top of the city as we speak. We'll take another look at the hail potential in this storm because it has been fairly significant, and now as it passes over the city of El Dorado, we think very easily could be getting quarter to maybe as large as golf ball size hail on this storm as it continues to work its way through the city of El Dorado and through the El Dorado Lake area. We know we have a lot of campers out at El Dorado State Park this time of the year. We hope that everybody's kind of hunkered down and waiting for this storm to pass. We've not had any additional reports of tornadoes with this storm, and we'll hope that we don't see anything additional being reported. So that would certainly be some good news passing through El Dorado, but a very dangerous storm to say the least. The possibility that we're getting some large hail and some strong winds passing through the city as we speak. A couple of hail reports there showing up on the radar. Once again, most recent report, and I'm seeing some new information coming into the Storm Center suggesting we've probably got hail up to $half size now on the storm in El Dorado, but they're the last report that we can share with you on the radar at 6:50, indicating quarter-size hail. So this is what we would classify as a severe thunderstorm that's passing through El Dorado. We've not had any reports of tornadoes with the storm. Tornado warning set to expire here in just under 25 minutes. We'll hope that we see a weakening trend here shortly with the storm in El Dorado, but it's a dangerous one to say the least. If we get 60-mile-per-hour winds and half-dollar-size hail coming together, that can be a pretty destructive storm, can easily knock out windows. We could be easily up against some power outages with this storm, but I don't see any additional reports of wall clouds or tornadoes with the storm passing through El Dorado. And we'll hope that continues to be a sign that maybe the storm will continue to weaken some as we go through the next several minutes. I do see a new severe thunderstorm warning being issued now into parts of Greenwood County. So let's slide the radar view just back a little bit more to the east and share this new information with you. This is Greenwood County, including Eureka and southeast Greenwood County. Severe thunderstorm warning here. Possibility of nickel to quarter-size hail and maybe some winds gusting up to about 55 or 60 miles per hour. So here's the situation. We have just 2 thunderstorms out there right now. We've got one over Butler County passing through El Dorado as we speak, another one on top of Eureka with a severe thunderstorm warning just issued now for parts of central and southeast sections of Greenwood County. The storm on top of Eureka with a possibility of producing some quarter-size hail. The warning for Greenwood County until 8 o'clock tonight. For central and northeast parts of Butler County, it's a tornado warning until 7:30. But based on the way the radar is looking now, I wouldn't be surprised if the warning gets canceled early. We just haven't seen any additional reports of tornadoes or any circulations with the storm passing across central and eastern sections of Butler County. So that's what we have right now. Again, just checking some new information coming into the storm center, not suggesting we have any tornadoes developing out of this storm. And it's been now a good 25, almost 30 minutes since we've had anything reported from this storm. We do have some video now that we want to show you. Again, this is from El Dorado, and what you're looking at is obviously in fast forward. Here's the wall cloud that was reported, and once again, it did produce at least a couple of very brief tornadoes. Now, I've not seen any reports of damage from the storm, but you can definitely pick out, there's the lowering, that's the wall cloud. And as we speed up the video, it makes it so much easier to see the rotation, which is basically rotating from left to right, the circulation showing up right under the base of this storm. And at times we can pick out some small funnels, but at least from this vantage point, not able to see that brief tornado report that we had shortly after 6:30 this evening. And once again, if you're just now joining us, we've had no reports of damage. We don't believe there to be a tornado on the ground any longer with this storm. It is passing through the city of El Dorado. We've had winds reported to be as strong as 60 miles per hour. I've also seen a couple reports of hail up to the size of $half with this storm, as it does continue to slide on through the area. Now we do have a new wind report showing up here just northwest of El Dorado. And once again, Butler County Emergency Manager estimating winds 50 to 60. And the wall cloud that's showing up in that report was northeast of El Dorado, but that was several minutes ago. We don't believe there to be wall clouds or tornadoes happening right now with the storm in Butler County. The warning till 7:30. We just want to stay with you here for a few more minutes as we continue to watch the storm passing over El Dorado. I know it's getting noisy. It probably bothers some of you that you're looking out your window and you can't see some of the storm features, the cloud features that we have been able to show you from time to time during our continuous coverage. But I can tell you that based on the radar returns, we don't have any spin going on in the storm over El Dorado. So we're not going to get a tornado out of this storm based on what we're seeing on radar right now in El Dorado. But we do have the strong winds. We do have the larger hail threat. And when you put those together, it can often do some damage that's comparable to a very weak or short-lived tornado here in central and eastern parts of Butler County. The warning again till 7:30, so we've got about another 20 minutes. But once again, what we're seeing on radar would indicate there's not a tornado threat any longer in the city of El Dorado, and really most of Butler County up against heavy rain, hail, and some wind as the storm continues to pass on to the south and east. It does look like there's a little bit better chance now that Leon's going to come into play for some stronger winds and some larger hail. So I want to shift the radar view back just a little bit farther to the south so you can see as the storm continues to work its way out of El Dorado, there is a chance it will hold together long enough that Leon, you're likely going to get heavy rainfall here in the next 10 minutes. You'll likely see the hail pick up, could be quarter size, and we might get some winds gusting to between 50 and 60 miles per hour. So we'll update our storm track here as this becomes more of a wind and hail threat, more so than tornadoes. So let's push this on to the southeast. Speeds close to 20 miles per hour. We've got an arrival time into Leon at 7:18, Beaumont at 7:41, and just after the top of the 8 o'clock hour into Piedmont. Once again, what we're drawing our storm track on here is wind and hail. Wind gusts 50 to 60 possible, and hail that could easily be up to about the size of $50. Not a tornado threat any longer here as we see it in portions of Butler County. So the warning, although it's still on the radar, I'm not seeing any circulations, and I'm not seeing a tornado threat here in central portions of Butler County. But it is a dangerous storm, and here in the next few minutes, we'll probably get some updated information as to what's happening in the city of El Dorado to see if there's any wind damage from those 50 to 60 mile per hour reports that we had just a few minutes ago. We'll take all that information off the screen and just remind you that behind me is actually a severe thunderstorm warning for Greenwood County for the storm on top of Eureka, pushing to the east. And that storm continues to work its way down Highway 54. We do have Eyewitness News reporter Trevor Macy on the phone, who is working his way, it looks like, maybe toward that storm in Butler County. Trevor, tell us where you are and what kind of additional information you can provide. We are looking at your video.
Hey, Ross, I'm on Highway 70 right now, just south of the Burns area, kind of on the northwest edge of this storm. I came in from close to Newton and haven't seen any rain so far on this edge of it, but I can see it ahead of me picking up pretty heavily down there. I haven't been able to tell if there's been any rotation. I know you had mentioned like you're not seeing any at the moment. I've seen a few clouds kind of dropping down from the cloud base over here on this end, but right now it looks like it's just continuing on southeast. So I'm going to kind of stay a little bit behind it and follow it in here and see what we can see it's doing as I get into El Dorado. I'll let you guys know what I'm seeing there.
Okay, thanks very much. Again, that's Trevor Macy, who's moving closer to that storm in Butler County. With no tornado threat right now in the city of El Dorado and Butler County, we're going to go ahead and return to regular programming. Remind you our coverage is continuous on 12.2. Information is being provided to the Storm Team 12 weather app. We get any additional reports of tornadic development out of the storm in Butler County, we'll be back with you in just a matter of seconds.
NCIS Special.
This is a Storm Team 12 weather alert.
And welcome back. We wanted to update you on the severe weather moving across Butler County. We have had a couple reports of some hail coming in from the city of El Dorado, indicating the hail size might be up to about the size of $50. That storm passing on to the south and east. Now the tornado warning, the red box that you're seeing here outlining parts of Butler County, will expire most likely at 7:30. That storm continues to push out of El Dorado. We're most likely going to have some reports of damage coming in here shortly. We've had winds gusting up to about 60 miles per hour and several reports of hail between 1 inch in diameter and up to the size of golf balls. Some very heavy rainfall too. If you live in Leon, this storm is moving your way, and you'll want to be ready for that because it has been a very significant storm, and it has still the potential of producing some winds over 60 miles per hour. As we zoom in just a little bit closer, you're going to be able to see Leon come into view. The tornado warning for central portions of Butler County set to expire at 7:30. But here's Leon, and the storm is moving in your direction with a history of producing hail larger than 1 inch in diameter and some occasional wind gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour. So definitely want to stay indoors and stay away from windows as this storm continues to move on through. We've not had any additional reports of tornadoes, no additional reports of wall clouds out of the storm, and we'll hope that continues to be the case there in parts of Butler County. Severe thunderstorm warning in Greenwood County for a storm just off to the southeast of the Eureka area, capable of producing some hail up to the size of $50. That storm is moving to the east, and a warning is out for Butler, or I should say Greenwood County, until 8 o'clock this evening. The warning here in Butler County until 7:30. My anticipation, though, is that it will be replaced with a severe thunderstorm warning that will cover a big chunk of central and southern portions of Butler County here shortly as the storms continue to push on through. Wichita, of course, over here on the side of your screen, about as close as we get. A couple of storms showing up around Andover that are not severe, but if you are planning travel that takes you east into Butler County, you should know that these storms are still packing quite a punch with large hail, strong winds, very heavy rainfall. We do have a new tornado warning being issued. This is for parts of central Greenwood County County. Let's bring you up to the current time and see what we have going on here just to the south of the Eureka area. Again, this is a new report or a new warning that's coming down as we speak for central portions of Greenwood County. And as we zoom in just a little bit tighter here on the city of Eureka, want to bring on the wind indicators because this is the first opportunity I'm getting to analyze the radar data with you. And it looks like the circulations that we have possibly close to Eureka. It's a little bit hard to say. And let's see here over the last hour. Okay, so the circulation looks like it's right on top of Eureka. So this is a tornado warning that's just been issued now for parts of Greenwood County, separate from the warning that we've been looking at in Butler County. And the tornado warning here well, this is going to be for western sections of Greenwood County, does include the Eureka area. No reports of tornadoes that I've been able to see, but we do have a circulation that's showing up again. This is very close to the city of Eureka, and it looks like the information coming in would suggest that this tornado warning is going to continue for several more minutes, and this is including the Eureka area. Tornado warning until 8 o'clock this evening. So if you live in Eureka, parts of Greenwood County now under a tornado warning. This is a small area of Greenwood County that we're looking at. Radar showing some stronger rotation near Eureka, so you'll definitely want to be moving to a place of safety, especially if you live in the Eureka area. We'll take another look here at the wind mode of Doppler radar just to show you the circulation that's showing up. This is, again, just looks to me like it's maybe a mile east of Eureka. I've not seen any reports of confirmed tornadoes with the storm, but once again, this is a tornado warning that was just issued literally minutes ago for central and western sections of Greenwood County until 8 o'clock this evening for a dangerous thunderstorm that's happening there. Real quick, I do want to update you on the severe weather that's continuing across Butler County as we work our way back toward the west. You can see the rain beginning to ease up around Roselia, but we still have this very strong thunderstorm passing through the El Dorado area, moving down toward Leon. A possibility we could be getting some hail larger than 1 inch in diameter and winds gusting over 60 miles per hour. We've had both of those confirmed to us here in the storm center over the last 30 to 40 minutes or so, and that storm is dropping to the southeast and will be moving into Leon here shortly. So once again, 2 different tornado warnings. The first one for Butler County is set to expire here in less than 8 minutes. The other tornado warning for Greenwood County near Eureka. We have eyes on both storms, and we're going to continue to monitor the situation carefully. Our coverage continues on 12.2, and I'll be back with you as the situation warns through the rest of the evening.
This is a Storm Team 12 weather alert.
And we're coming back on the air with some updated information on the tornado warning for Greenwood County near Eureka. We have had reports from the emergency manager that there is some damage being reported in the Eureka area from what might be a possible tornado. Again, this tornado warning continues for western sections of Greenwood County, including the city of Eureka. As we were telling you about literally just seconds ago, it looked like the rotation was passing over Eureka and now just to the east of Eureka, and that's where we get this little marker that's showing up here on the screen. Let's share that information with you as we were just getting this right as we started to come back on the air, and the tornado report from the emergency manager appears to be some damage from trees are uprooted there in the town of Eureka. We don't know if that's from wind or from a tornado, but this again just coming into the storm center in the last couple minutes indicating a possible tornado has passed through at least near or some areas of Eureka. I'm not going to say it passed right through the city of Eureka because we don't know that for sure, and we're not going to assume that, but we do have reports of some damage out of Eureka now, where a tornado warning does continue across central and western sections of Greenwood County. So this is a very dangerous storm as it continues to move on through. Let me see if I can take that icon off so you can see the city of Eureka coming up there on the screen. Now it looks to me like what we have on radar is that the tornado would be east of Eureka and moving down Highway 54. So if you're watching us tonight from Greenwood County, you should know there has been a tornado reported with this storm, and it does continue to move to the east. So we'll go back over into the wind mode of Doppler radar and just show you the signature is much stronger here than it ever was in Butler County when we started covering some of these brief tornado warnings. Again, this is a circulation that's now showing up just east of Eureka, and a pretty good indication, I would say, here on radar that we may still have something happening as we speak. We'll hope that this is not an ongoing situation, but I can tell you that looking at the wind mode, that looks fairly strong, and we may have something happening there. What I'm showing you now, if the tornado is actually picking up debris, sometimes we can see that using Doppler radar, and this looks to me like a little bit of a suspicious area here to the northeast of Eureka. Possibly some damage, we just don't know. That's something we'll continue to follow carefully and see if it becomes better defined. But once again, the emergency manager telling us that there is report of damage now in Eureka, and the tornado looks like it's now to the northeast of Eureka. We can see that circulation. Let's give you a little bit better idea of exactly where this is located from the city of Eureka now. We're talking about 2 to 3 miles off to the northeast of town. This would be just to the north of Highway 54 by a couple of miles, now passing east of Eureka. If you live east of Eureka and you live on Highway 54 or north of Highway 54, you should be moving to a place of safety, and that means getting below ground if at all possible. Basements are always going to be the safest place. When you go below ground, you put yourself in a situation where the winds are going to be a lot slower. The stronger winds with tornadoes happen above the ground, obviously, and as you go higher up into a tornado, the winds tend to get stronger, so that's why basements are good places to be. Below ground, you want to get under something sturdy that will protect you from anything that can fall from above. You don't want to be directly underneath of a washing machine, a fireplace, a refrigerator, freezer, those very heavy objects. If they fall through the floor and land on top of you, that can be a very dangerous situation to be in. If you're in a mobile home area, you need to abandon those and seek shelter in a designated storm shelter. You also want to put as many walls between you and an approaching tornado as you possibly can. Every wall between you and an approaching tornado will offer up that much more level of protection if, in fact, there continues to be a tornado warning. So let's continue to see this tornado warning passing over central and western portions of Greenwood County. And there you can see the strongest returns now are about 3 to 4 miles northeast of Eureka. We already have our news crews checking on the reports of damage that we were getting in the storm center from the emergency manager around the Eureka area. Let's bring you up to the current time and just show you once again what we have going on here in Greenwood County. Tornado warning is in place until 8 o'clock this evening. The little box that's showing up here right on top of Eureka, that is the tornado report that we originally had. Since we have your attention, I do want to update you on the situation going on in Butler County. We have not had any additional tornadoes reported from this storm. The warning is set to expire at 7:30, and you can definitely see we have a very strong thunderstorm passing to the south of El Dorado now. All of these little markers that have come up here on the screen indicating the larger hail that has been reported. Most recent report from the city of El Dorado indicating the hail size was larger than 1 inch in diameter. And we also have one of our employees here at the Channel 12 station telling us that their family reported from El Dorado a bunch of tree limbs were down. So we know there has been some wind damage from El Dorado, not from a tornado, but from estimated 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. So here's the situation. If you're just joining our coverage, following our information on 12.2 or streaming on the Storm Team 12 app, we have 2 thunderstorms we're carefully watching now. Central Butler County, tornado warning set to expire in the next couple of seconds. We also have the tornado warning in effect for Greenwood County, including the city of Eureka, where there has been a reported tornado pass near Eureka, maybe clipping parts of town. We don't know for sure, but the emergency manager did confirm there was a tornado and did confirm there are reports of damage coming in from Greenwood County. So a couple different areas that we're watching. Not expecting a wide outbreak of severe weather this evening, but we do have, and we do want to stay with you as long as we continue to get these reports of tornadoes coming out of Greenwood County. So let you see the radar animate again from Greenwood County. The storm passing to the east of Eureka. It did produce, as far as we know, a brief tornado, but the radar returns that we're getting on this storm from Greenwood County are still somewhat impressive. So I want to go back over and show you what we're looking at as far as the wind is concerned in this storm near Eureka, and it looks to me like it's right there. So once again, if you're wondering about distance, because it looks pretty close to Eureka, we're easily talking about 4 to 5 miles northeast of Eureka, where we have the indicated tornado on radar. So a tornado warning for Greenwood County until 8 o'clock tonight. This is a dangerous storm that continues to move east. The situation in Butler County looking a little bit better. We don't have the real strong areas of strong winds, and now the tornado warning has dropped off the screen, replaced with a severe thunderstorm warning that does cover a large swath of central and southern portions of Butler County. So we still have some dangerous storms passing through Butler County, but not the tornado warning that we saw just a few minutes ago. So bring you up to the current time here. The severe thunderstorm warning now for Butler County till 8:30 does include El Dorado, Latham, Leon, and Rosalia. A dangerous storm passing through the area. Hail and wind are primary concerns out of this particular area. We'll go back over into the regular mode of radar just to set everything up for you. And once again, the storm that's now moving into the Leon area, we've got a possibility of hail larger than 1 inch in diameter on this storm. And as we check out the hail potential off to the northwest of Leon, we're estimating golf ball size now on the storm just south of El Dorado. And that's what's going to be moving into Leon here shortly. I do want to show you what our estimated arrival times look like, because we want to give you as much time as we possibly can to prepare for these storms as they continue to either move east or southeast. And the storm that's passing through the El Dorado area looks to be moving more to the southeast. I also see we've got some new storms that are popping up on the east side of Wichita. We'll get to those in just a second. But where we have some of that larger hail tracking them southeast at just over 20 miles per hour, Latham, or Leon, I should say, at 740. Storm's probably going to be there maybe a couple minutes before 740. Latham at 812. And if the storm continues to move on to the south and east, it will clip the northeast corner of County, but we're still probably 30 to 45 minutes away from that happening. The storm that's popping up on the east side of Wichita is not a severe storm, but it does have some heavy rainfall with it. Lightning might get kind of noisy on the east side of the city, but that's not a storm that has prompted any kind of tornado warnings or severe thunderstorm warnings. We'll continue to monitor that storm that's now just east of KWCH, that's going to be moving into the Benton area here shortly and passing just off to the east of the Bel Air area. So this is the situation. You can see how isolated these storms are right now. The storm passing through central portions of Butler County with the severe thunderstorm warning. We're in continuous coverage right now because we had a tornado confirmed near Eureka. Emergency manager reporting some damage near Eureka. We don't know how bad the damage is. We don't know if the tornado went right through town. We don't know to what extent Eureka was hit by the tornado. It could have just clipped the edges of town. We simply don't know. This is early on. The storms have just passed on through. I can tell you that we do have our own news crews that are headed to Eureka to try to get some more information for us, and we'll continue to check in with them and see if we get any additional updates on what's going on here in Greenwood County. We'll take the storm markers off. Things are beginning to calm down a little bit in the city of Eureka, where we have the circulation now as well to the east of town, continuing to move to the east. Now, the tornado warning for Greenwood County is set to expire at 8 o'clock this evening, but we still have a pretty strong circulation showing up as it moves down Highway 54. We'll bring this up to the current time. And when we came on the air, this was literally passing through the city of Eureka. And now that circulation looks like it has fallen apart now to the east of Eureka. So that would be some good news. It doesn't look nearly as impressive as it did 10 to 15 minutes ago. Right there, there's in the storm passed through Eureka. And now notice from right there to where we are at the current time, the circulation starting to fall apart and weaken, and we'll hope that's an indication that the storm is no longer producing a tornado at the present time. So severe weather continues in Butler County. The warning until 8:30. The situation beginning to calm down a little bit now in Greenwood County. The circulation starting to fall apart, no longer looking to be as impressive. So the tornado warning for Greenwood County will likely continue until 8 o'clock this evening. If we get any additional reports on storms out of this area, we'll be back on the air. But for right now, with no confirmation of a tornado and the signatures decreasing on radar, we'll return to regular programming, but be back with you during commercial breaks or as the situation changes through the evening.
This is a Storm Team 12 weather alert.
We can tell you the tornado warning for Greenwood County has been canceled. The storm has weakened over Greenwood County, but still a possibility of nickel to quarter-size hail to the south of Highway 54. We are efforting some reports of damage out of Eureka. It sounds like the buildings and some trees sustained the most significant damage there. Severe thunderstorm warning continues in Butler County. No longer a tornado warning in effect here, but we still have a pretty strong thunderstorm. And I would tell you that south of El Dorado, there's a potential we could get winds gusting 65 miles per hour and the possibility of quarter-size hail as well. That would be on the small side. There's even a chance it could be larger than that. One of our news crews passing through the El Dorado area reporting that maybe some golf ball size hail was falling there. So heads up around Augusta and just east of Augusta over toward Leon. This is a pretty dangerous thunderstorm. I do want to zoom in just a little bit closer here and give you a little bit more idea of where the strongest part of this storm is as we continue to watch it very carefully here in Butler County, and there you see Leon here, Augusta over here. There still looks like we may be dealing with some strong winds to the south of El Dorado. When we go over into the wind mode, I would suggest this area probably 3-4 miles to the south of El Dorado could be up against winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. So a storm that you definitely have to treat with a lot of caution here, because even if we get that combination of 65, maybe 70 mile per hour winds and hail up to ping pong or even golf ball size, can be pretty destructive. And that's why the severe thunderstorm warning continues across Butler County. We've also had reports coming in the last few minutes of hail nickel size at 37th and Rock. That storm is passing through the Andover area as we speak. The storm has gotten a little bit stronger now, moving due east. So in the city of Andover, yes, we are aware there's a strong thunderstorm passing through your area. You might send us a message on Twitter or Facebook, even an email, weather at KWCH.com, to let us know the size of the hail that's falling in the Andover area. That storm is pushing to the east. I understand we do have a picture of some of the hail that's falling with these storms, and we can take a look at that now. This from the El Dorado area, indicating hail a little bit larger than 1 inch in diameter from Tina. Thanks so much for sharing that picture with us, just kind of reinforcing the message that we're trying to pass along, that this is a damaging storm passing through the city of El Dorado, and now the strongest part of that storm has shifted to the southeast of the city. New severe thunderstorm warning just issued for the western part of Butler County. This does not include Sedgwick County, but the storm that's moving through Andover looks like it has gotten strong enough now. We might be looking at least some quarter-size hail on this storm. Let me show you what the hail indicators, well, that's wind. Let me go back over to the hail and show you what we're looking at here around the Andover area. And once again, I would expect probably nickel size on that storm near Andover. Severe thunderstorm warning continues in Butler County, also for Greenwood County. No tornado warnings in effect right now. I'll be back with updates here in a few minutes.
This is a Storm Team 12 weather alert.
Now, we still have a couple areas of severe thunderstorms tonight, mainly in Butler County from just east of Andover through Augusta, Leon, south of El Dorado. El Dorado's had a lot of large hail tonight. I'll show you some of the pictures in just a second. First of all, the storm that's moved through Andover has produced some hail a little bit larger than 1 inch in diameter. That storm looks like it's going to dive just southwest of the city of Augusta. Leon, you're experiencing some heavy rainfall right now. Could be some winds gusting in here over 60 miles per hour as well. So you can see from Andover through Augusta, Leon, and from El Dorado south, this continues to be a very dangerous storm. We've had tennis ball size hail reported in El Dorado. Again, the picture coming up here shortly. This is a very dangerous storm, so we can't emphasize it enough. From Andover through Leon and to the south of Rosalia, as far north as El Dorado, this area, stay indoors and stay away from windows. The severe thunderstorm warning for Greenwood County is going to expire at the top of the hour. Storms to the southeast of Eureka have weakened, but there are reports of damage coming in from Eureka. Don't try to go out and see for yourself just how bad the damage is. We'll be getting some pictures here for you shortly. This picture, by the way, from Webb Road near K96, indicating some golf ball size hail that fell there. I wanted to show you the picture of tennis ball size hail on the north side of El Dorado. Thanks to Kylie for sending us this picture. You can see just how destructive and how large the hailstones have been with the storms in Butler County. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue for Butler County. We'll continue to monitor the situation carefully. Our coverage continues on 12.2, and I'll be back with you throughout the evening with other updates.
This is a Storm Team 12 weather alert.
And we're coming back on the air with an update on severe thunderstorms across Butler County. Now to the east of Andover, there's still a chance along Highway 400 here. We could be getting hailstones up to the size of golf balls. We've had a lot of reports of that particular hail size over the last 15 to 20 minutes. But once again, the strongest part of that storm now shifting through the Augusta area well east of Andover. And the largest hail, by the way, that's been falling around El Dorado has been up to the size of tennis to baseball size. That larger hail now shifting on to the south. It does look like the hail size has come down significantly from where it was 15 or 20 minutes ago. Strongest part of the storm now to the southeast of El Dorado, east of Leon. So we've got two different areas that we're watching now, east of Andover and another area just southeast of El Dorado. Both of these thunderstorms here capable of producing up to golf ball size hail and some very strong winds, maybe up to 60 or 65 miles per hour. We'll bring back on the wind to show you what we're looking at inside of these storms. And we've got an area just east of Andover that could be looking at at some strong winds that would impact the Augusta area, and then another area southeast of El Dorado where some strong winds continue to look possible. We have other scattered storms that are popping up through southern Marion County down into northern Butler County. We also have some scattered storms in southern Chase County. All of this drifting on to the southeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. None of the storms up around Peabody, Burns, south of Elmdale near Matfield Green appear to be severe. But we are looking at some very heavy rainfall, obviously dangerous cloud-to-ground lightning, and some concerns of winds maybe gusting up to about 50 miles per hour. So the most significant weather that we're looking at right now in Butler County, east of Andover through Augusta over toward Leon and now to the south of El Dorado. By the way, Butler County now in a flash flood warning because these very slow-moving thunderstorms dropping tremendous rainfall has created some issues there. So we do have some large hail confirmed with the storms. We've also had some pretty strong winds as well. That's the situation for now. Storms have started to move out of eastern Sedgwick County. We had a couple reports of golf ball size hail on Webb Road near K96, but that storm has moved over into Butler County. We continue to watch the situation carefully. Updates to come throughout the rest of the evening as the situation warrants.
This is a Storm Team 12 weather alert.
And we continue with a couple areas of concern with severe thunderstorms right now, one of them being in Butler County, especially to the south and east of Augusta. We have had a report of quarter-size hail. The hail size with these storms appears to be coming down significantly from where we were 20 or 30 minutes ago. But there you can see at 8:11, quarter-size hail reported near Augusta. Over the last hour, storms continue to show more of a southeast drift, especially the storm near Augusta, strongest part of that cell passing in between Augusta and Douglas right now. Storms east of Leon have weakened considerably. This warning could be canceled early, so no longer do we think there's any tennis or golf or tennis or baseball size hail falling with these storms. They look to be a lot weaker than that, but still a chance that we could get some hail up to $half size on that storm just south of Augusta, where severe thunderstorm warnings continue there. Severe thunderstorm warning continues in the southeast corner of Greenwood County. If you have friends and family that live in the city of Eureka, we've been monitoring some information coming in from Eureka where a tornado appears to have hit part of the city, and that storm is now long over with, but we do know that the city of Eureka is without power and there appears to be some fairly extensive damage. Our news crews are headed to that area. We'll be getting some information here shortly. The storm that's just east of Potwin looks to be getting a little bit stronger here in northern parts of Butler County. That storm's crossing the Kansas Turnpike as we speak. A possibility we could get some nickel to quarter-size hail on the storm, again, east of Potwin, as that storm continues to slide onto the southeast. We have other storms that are trying to develop just to the north there up into the southeast corner of Marion County. Here's some information just coming into the newsroom on the Eureka tornado damage. The shelter is set up at the Methodist Church in Eureka. Power lines are down and they are asking no volunteers right now. As you would imagine, with power lines down, the situation there in Eureka is a very dangerous one, even after the storm is long over with. A concern that we may be dealing with some wires that are still hot right now. So please, no volunteers wanted right now in Eureka. As the storms have started to settle down, the emergency managers will go in, the emergency crews will get in and start to assess the damage, and they just don't need any extra help as of right now. We'll continue to keep you updated, but again, scattered storms are developing across northern Butler County up into the southeast corner of Marion County. We've also had some other scattered storms trying to develop off to the northwest of Wichita. As we move the radar back toward the southwest corner of Harvey County, you can see some scattered storms west of Sedgwick near the this is going to be east of Haven and moving down into the northwest corner of Sedgwick County. This is going to be passing into northern parts of Sedgwick County within the next 15 to 20 minutes. So scattered storms, main threat's going to be some large hail and gusty winds. Our coverage continues on 12.2 with updates on what's going on in Eureka and additional severe weather reports. Stay with us through the rest of the evening.
This is a Storm Team 12 weather alert.
Now we're back on the air with a tornado warning for the southwest corner of Butler County. There's been an area of circulation showing up near Rose Hill, that area that we're watching now off to the northwest of the vicinity of Douglas. First of all, I want you to see the radar animate, and then we'll get into the details of where the circulation is showing up and what we're looking at as we move forward in time. So here's our tornado warning. It does include Douglas and areas just south of Highway 400. Now the rotation again appears to be right back on the western fringe of this storm that's close to the Rose Hill Hill area. So let's bring you up to the current time. And I do want to show you what we're looking at as far as the wind is concerned in this storm. And there's a small area here. This is a little bit different than some of the other circulations that we've seen periodically throughout the evening. But I want to zoom back in a little bit closer on the area that we're looking at here. Again, this is near the Rose Hill area, and there you can see just off to the northeast of Rose Hill, that's where we have our circulation. Let's watch this animate so we can see for ourselves how this whole thing is coming together. And it looks to me like it's trying to drop to the southeast at only 10-15 miles per hour. So this is a slow moving situation here. If you're east of Rose Hill by 2 or 3 miles. If you live in Douglas, you need to start thinking about a place of safety. This is not a tornado happening right now, but we've seen several pictures coming in on Twitter into the Storm Shots folder, indicating to us that we are seeing at least a little bit of a lowering with this storm, a little bit of a wall cloud showing up. And so I think to be on the safe side, we do have this tornado warning in effect now for the southern portions of Butler County, because of this little area. Really doesn't stand out as impressive as some of the other returns have this evening, but this would be enough to prompt this tornado warning again for southern portions of Butler County. Because this is moving fairly slow, we've got some ample time here before this is going to reach the Douglas area. But if we track this to the southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour, we show it getting into Douglas at around 9:07. So we could easily have 25 to maybe 30 minutes before that's going to pass over the Douglas area. But if you're watching us tonight from just east of Rose Hill down toward the Douglas area, you do want to be looking for a place of safety. Be thinking about where you would go if the storm does in fact produce a tornado. And as we've been telling you throughout the evening, basements are always going to be your safest bet. If you're in a mobile home, you need to abandon that. Seek shelter in a ditch. If that's the last place, if that's the last option that you have, that's going to be safer than trying to ride out a tornado in a mobile home. But a lot of mobile home areas have designated storm shelters, and you'll want to go there before you resort to going to a ditch. If you're in a situation where a basement's not an option, bathroom, closets, interior rooms, put as many walls between you and the approaching storm as you possibly can. Stay as far away from windows. Put on a good pair of shoes. If you were to have a tornado hit your location and you come out of your storm shelter, you don't want to be walking around barefoot. So please put on a good pair of shoes, and you want to be prepared for the worst. We'll certainly hope for the best. This is radar showing us rotation right now east of Rose Hill. We're talking about an area that's just about 3 miles by my estimation here east of Rose Hill. And this is diving on to the southeast at only about 15 miles per hour. So again, this is a tornado warning for the southern sections of Butler County. Radar is showing the rotation. We have not heard of any reports of a tornado with this storm, but it is very dangerous nonetheless. Now, I do want to show, as we back the radar out, there are other thunderstorms happening in the area. Butler County certainly having quite a night here with some fairly significant thunderstorms with large hail that's moved through the El Dorado area. That storm has shifted on to the south now, and so the circulation that we're looking at is back here on the western fringe of all the heavy rain and the larger hail, and that storm continues to dive on to the southeast. You can see some other heavy rainfall showing up off to the north of Latham. As we continue to back the radar out, you're going to be able to see that the thunderstorms are also starting to blossom now off to the northeast of Wichita, and we do have some stronger thunderstorms that are showing up here off to the northeast of El Dorado. There's also another pretty good thunderstorm coming through the town of Sedgwick. Those thunderstorms appear to be moving more to the southeast, so Sedgwick County not completely out of the clear for some strong thunderstorms, although what appears to be showing up on the radar right on the Harvey-Sedgwick County line, not severe right now. So the only tornado warning we have in place right now is for southern Butler County. This is an area east of Rose Hill near the Douglas area. Radar shows the rotation. We don't have confirmation of a tornado happening right now. We'll hope that continues to be the case. Over in Butler County, a strong thunderstorm is moving through the southeast corner of Greenwood County. So check that. That's southeast Greenwood County, where we do have this severe thunderstorm passing on through that particular area. What's showing up northeast of El Dorado, some heavy rainfall. Hail size in this storm northeast of El Dorado is probably dimes or smaller. The storm south of El Dorado in the southern part of Butler County is a lot stronger than anything else that's surrounding it at the current time. So that storm drifting to the southeast at speeds of only about 15 miles per hour. So I do want to zoom back in just a little bit closer on the storm moving through southern portions of Butler County. This is again a tornado warning that's been recently issued for the rotation that we're seeing east of Rose Hill and going to be moving down toward the Douglas area. You can see the very dark shades of red here on the radar indicating the heavier rainfall. There's Rose Hill. Of course, Douglas down here in the southwest part of the tornado warning, and this storm continues to move to the east. As we've been telling you throughout the evening, we understand that Eureka has some significant damage in the area from a tornado earlier this evening. Trevor Macy in the area. He's going to join us now with some updates from Eureka.
Yeah, guys, we want to give you a live look right now at some of the damage we're seeing in Eureka. Right behind me here across this road is a tire store that is just completely collapsed after, we're told, a tornado blew through town. A deputy told me that it just went straight through the center of town earlier this evening. We're seeing a lot of damage here just on the edge of town as we were coming in. As soon as we got into town, really, you could see some of the damage. A lot of trees down. We've got parts of this building actually in some of these yards that we're standing in right now. I'm told it's a tire store. There's a tire in the yard in front of us. A lot of trees down, a lot of damage. People coming out assessing what has happened to their homes. A lot of people told me they just had really no time after the sirens went off before this tornado came through town. A deputy told me so far he's only heard one report of an injury. So that's good news for the people here in Eureka, but definitely not something that we're looking forward to. You know, it's almost 2 years to the day that a tornado came through town in 2016, and we were here then, and this is just some of the same types of damage that we were seeing then, but this is yeah, definitely widespread damage here in this part of town. We've heard some reports that there might be some more on the east side of town. We're going to continue checking out some of the damage here in Eureka, and we'll bring you updates on anything and everything that we find tonight on Eyewitness News.
Okay, thanks very much. Again, that's Trevor Macy reporting from Eureka, where if you've just joined our coverage this evening, Eureka has had a tornado hit the city. We don't believe that it took a direct hit from what we've been told, but it looks like the tornado may have gone through the downtown area, and they are setting up a shelter at the Methodist Church in Eureka. For right now, what we're tracking is a tornado warning in southern portions of Butler County, east of Rose Hill. The circulation is showing up off to the north of Douglas. This is a very dangerous storm. If there's any good news I can offer up right now is that we don't have a tornado happening at the current time, but we do have just enough rotation with it. We want to be safe here that if you're in the path of the storm, you want to be seeking shelter from it immediately. The storm has a history of producing a lot of tremendous hail, and I think that's probably going to be our more widespread concern as we go through the next several minutes. But as we bring on the hail possibilities here, looking at the storm east of Rose Hill, you can see what we're up against. Hail that might go as large as about golf ball size from around Douglas, east of Rose Hill, and those areas that are south of Augusta. So once again, the red outline is our tornado warning this evening. We don't have a tornado happening at the current time, but we believe that there's just enough circulation happening with the storm to require this tornado warning, which, by the way, for Butler County, the tornado warning continues until 9:15, or if we see some weakening trends, it could be canceled early. But sounds to me like, and the information I have coming into the Storm Center from emergency managers in Butler County, is that we still have a rotating wall cloud happening with the storm, that happening well to the south of El Dorado, south of Augusta here. And as we check out the wind inside of this storm, we still think there's a little bit of a circulation showing up here just west of Highway 77. Now, if you're not familiar with where Douglas is on this particular radar screen, we'll zoom in just a little bit more and bring Douglas into view. So here you go, and it looks to me like it's maybe closer to the Gordon area. Probably one of those locations that if you live in this area, you know exactly what we're talking about, but Gordon not one of those real heavily populated areas. This may be more of a township than anything else, but north of Douglas, again, that's where we have the circulation showing up. So rotation on radar, prompting the tornado warning until 9:15. Doesn't look as impressive as some of the other signatures we've seen this evening, but because the information that we've been getting from some of the eyewitness accounts under this storm, we want to be safe here. And now it looks like we've had a report of some wind damage. That's the little marker that's showing up there on the screen. So here you go, power lines down along Highway 77 on the north side of Douglas. So we have what appears to be some thunderstorm wind damage, not necessarily from a tornado, but this coming in from the National Weather Service office, as well as the emergency managers gathering some new information here for us. Again, this, if you're just joining joining us, this is some wind damage reported to the north of Douglas. Power lines reported to be down. So please don't try to go out and survey the damage for yourself, because you're just going to get in the way of the emergency crews that need to get out there, try to help restore power and check on anybody that might have been impacted or hurt by the storm. We'll hope that there's not too many injuries out there tonight. But this is the situation as of right now. The only tornado warning in Kansas is for the southern portions of Butler County. Tornado we've got rotation showing up on radar. We don't have confirmation of any circulations touching the ground. As we widen the perspective back out, looks like we have a new severe thunderstorm warning now for northern sections of Sedgwick County for this storm that's up here near the town of Sedgwick. So I want to zoom in a little bit closer here so we can see this is just coming down in the last couple minutes. A severe thunderstorm warning on this cell that's just back to the west of the town of Sedgwick, and this thunderstorm has been showing signs of drifting to the southeast at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. The biggest danger with this storm as it moves into the northern part of the county will be some winds, maybe up to 55 or 60 miles per hour, and we might, I'll emphasize might, get some nickel to quarter-size hail out of it. We'll see if that storm gets any stronger from where it is right now, but again, this is just coming in the last couple minutes. Southern Harvey County and northern portions of Sedgwick County, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for these areas, and that warning until 9:45. It does include Bel Air, Bentley, Colwich, and the KWCH area. Possibility that we could be looking at hail up to the size of nickels, maybe quarters, and a wind gust that might go up to about 60 miles per hour. As we expand the view, because I want you to see other areas that are being impacted by storms, and you can see it's pretty well concentrated right over south central Kansas. We've got some strong thunderstorms that are just east of El Dorado, not the same magnitude of storms that we saw earlier this evening when we were getting tennis ball size hail, but the storms in between El Dorado and Cassidy appear to be strong enough that we might be getting some dime to nickel size hail there. A couple of smaller thunderstorms just south and east of the Burns area. Got a couple of those storms extending over into Chase County too. They're a long way from achieving a severe criteria, but certainly something we'll continue to follow there. And then we have a couple of storms here in Greenwood County, the northern part of Greenwood County, the southeast corner of Greenwood County with severe thunderstorm warnings right now. Hail up to the size of quarters, and once again a wind threat that might be between about 50 and 60 miles per hour. So the tornado warning for southern Butler County, still where we're focusing a lot of our attention right now given what's taken place so far this evening. As you've been hearing, we have had a tornado hit the city of Eureka. We are getting reports of damage. You saw some of that information a few minutes ago from Trevor Macy, but tornado warning does continue for southern portions of Butler County. Radar showing the rotation. We don't have any eyewitness accounts at this point in time suggesting that there's anything on the ground, and we'll hope that that continues to be the case. As far as the wind inside of the storm is concerned, it still looks to me like it's right here just west of Highway 77, well to the north of Douglas. But the emergency manager is reporting power lines are down on the north side of Douglas from what appears to be some strong winds, not from a tornado, because we have not received any reports of tornadoes with the storm. Everything that's come into the storm center is suggesting it's been rotation. We've had some fairly significant rotation on radar, but for the time being, I think this is more of a hail and wind threat moving across southern portions of Butler County, where a tornado warning does continue until 9:15. So if you live in Douglas, if you live northeast of Douglas, you want to remain in your storm shelter as this continues to be a very dangerous storm passing through southern sections of Butler County. I do want to shift the radar view and go back up here to the northeast with now this new severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Sedgwick County. We'll put a storm track on this so you can get an idea of where it's going. And for the most part, it has been showing a sign of drifting to the southeast at speeds of about 20 miles per hour. We have not had any reports of large hail with it, but we might again get some nickel to perhaps up to quarter-size hail with this storm that's now moving into northern sections of Sedgwick County. Our storm track showing it into KWCH at 9:03, Bel Air at 9:11, and into the Andover area, which would be our second round of storms tonight at about 9:32. So what you should be expecting with this complex of storms will be some winds up to about 60 miles per hour, nickel to quarter-size hail based on the returns that we have right now on the radar. I'll show you what we're looking at here on Super Doppler radar. Once again, this darker shade of blue indicated by the radar is telling us that hail size for what it's estimating smaller than 1 inch in diameter, but there's a chance it could go a little bit larger than that. And the severe thunderstorm warning now out for northern portions of Sedgwick County up into southern Harvey County for a storm that's right on the county line. As we zoom the radar back out, I do want you to see everything that's going on here in south central Kansas. You can see Wichita now included with some of those severe thunderstorm warnings. We have our tornado warning for southern Butler County till 9:15, so we've got about another half of an hour to go there. The rotation really not looking all that impressive as it did a little while ago. We'll hope that that continues to be the trend. And then other strong thunderstorms just east of El Dorado up into southern Chase County, and some scattered strong thunderstorms south of Emporia down into northern sections of Greenwood County. That's the situation for now, given that we don't have a tornado on the ground in Butler County and the circulation no longer looks to be all that impressive. We're going to return to regular programming. I am in continuous coverage on 12.2. As soon as we get anything additional, I'll be right back on the air.